Dear students, how to write a composition. First of all, you should know what composition is. Composition can be defined as an essay of moderate length. When you are writing a composition, there are different stages which are involved before writing. First of all, the preparatory stage comes in which you have to see that which topic is the one from the choices on which you will write well and in a logical way. You need to plan about your writing, and when you will start writing, it should have a proper manner. So let's learn about how to write a good composition. When you will start the composition, the very first step is introduction. The topic which you have selected to write, you have to give a short introduction to it. It should not be very lengthy. Then the body of the composition will begin. The body of the composition can be divided into 2 to 3 paragraphs, and you have to present your ideas in a well arranged manner. Then you have to reach the conclusion which should be satisfying. By satisfying, I mean that ideas which you have given in your whole essay, conclusion should match to it. And don't forget, you have to write appropriate word limit. There are 5 types of composition. The first one is descriptive. That means you have to describe a person, place, object, a scene, or a process. Second comes the narrative, which is related to an experience. For example, a visit, a scene, or a walk, etc. Third comes the argumentative. You have to give your arguments for or against the motion. Fourth one comes short story. It can be imaginary incident or a series of incident. Most of the time it's always imaginary. Then the last comes picture composition. Picture composition, you can give a description of what the picture suggests, or you can make up your own story also. If you have selected descriptive composition, then you have to provide factual description in such a way that it sounds interesting. For example, if you are writing about a person or an animal, then you have to mention his or her peculiar looks. You can mention about his or her habits, behavior, and your relationship with that person or an animal. If you are describing a place or scene, then try to give the accurate details. Your feelings should be proper while describing the atmosphere also. That means when reader is reading your composition, he himself should feel that atmosphere when he is reading it. If you are talking about the object, you can add its utility and function. And of course, if you are writing about an incident, it is based on your own experience. Narrative composition, it is based on your own experience again. You have to use the past tense to describe the events of the past. You can use comparison and contrast to add variety and interest. Please do not use philosophical comments and vague statements. It can make your composition boring. Writing an argumentative composition is quite challenging. When you have started with writing an argumentative composition, you have to state whether you are in favor or against the motion. You have to present your point of view in a logical manner. Avoid using vague sentiments so that you can give a balanced view of the topic. Writing a short story can be an interesting one. It is always a fiction or imaginary. Logical ordering of events is very necessary. It should have proper beginning, middle, and end. Proper setting, that is a background at which place the story is taking place, what is the time, the description of the characters, and to make it more interesting, you can use the dialogues for the characters. It will make your story more interesting. Picture composition, it can be a story or you can describe that picture also in detail. There should be a clear connection between your words and picture. But you have to keep this in mind. Do not go too far from the idea of the picture because then you will be lost. You can use various narrative skills when you are writing about the picture composition. Some important points which you have to keep in your mind while writing a composition. You have to be relevant and to the point. Use simple and colloquial language. Avoid writing very long sentences because you can be grammatically wrong then. Use different type of sentences and avoid using the same type of sentence frequently. Avoid using too many facts. If you are writing it, write it legibly. At last, you have to revise your composition and remove your grammatical mistakes. Thank you for watching. Keep practicing your writing skills.